All right, another edition of our Creighton Tennis Zoom TV. We have two current, two former players on with us tonight, and I'm going to introduce them going from my top left screen because that's what I'm assuming everybody else is going to be able to see. So we'll start with my top left, and that is Amanda Noonan. She played, I didn't write down the years that you played. I'm going to guess 2011 to 15.
Yep, you got it.
Because you were the most improved player in 2013 and 2015. You graduated with 82 wins. You were our team captain in 2015. And I had a few matches that maybe we'll go over later that you played some outstanding tennis in. Going down, and Amanda, you were from Chicago or just outside of Chicago. Are you still there?
Yeah, I grew up in Tinley Park, live in Chicago now.
Excellent. And we'll get to what you're doing in here in a little bit then. All right.
Yeah.
Bottom left is current player Kate Kruger. She's a junior from Omaha, currently with 52 wins, all at the #1 singles and doubles position. She was our most valuable player her freshman year. She's all Big East Conference last year as a sophomore. Exercise science heading into medical school. And next to her, bottom right for me, is Janelle. I knew her as Janelle Schmidt. She's now Janelle Stormberg. 88 to 90, played back in the years that I was a player. Her 20 wins at the #3 doubles position in one single season are still the third most in a single season for us at that position. Were you originally from Omaha, Janelle?
No, I'm from Hastings originally.
Gotcha. You're in Omaha now.
Yep.
Good. All right. And our top right, our youngest Zoom person tonight, Siri Kongera. She's a freshman from Texas. She went 6-3 this year or this fall so far in singles and was a Drake Invite doubles champion. So I am going to now ask you guys, we'll start with the former players, start with Janelle this time, and just fill us in on what you're doing these days.
Absolutely. Well, when I graduated from college, I didn't play tennis for quite a while, probably 17 years. I had 4 kids during that time, and then started playing again, played competitively for quite a while. Did some USTA team tennis and got to travel kind of all over the United States playing in regional and national tournaments. So that was really fun to get back into tennis again. Had an injury about 3 years ago to my right thumb, so haven't really played since then. So I do miss it, but I enjoy seeing all of the Creighton tennis updates and watching still today. Like I mentioned, I have 4 kids. They are 30, 26, 24, and 21. The older 2 went to Creighton. Amanda, you might have been there when my daughter, well, it's probably between Taylor and Logan. So Taylor graduated in 2013 and Logan graduated in 2017. So there were a couple of years there.
Taylor and Logan.
Taylor was on the basketball team.
Taylor played basketball. Yeah. And Logan was in nursing school. So I think you're an attorney, I think that's correct.
Yes.
So you probably didn't have anything to do with nursing school, but
no, not too much. I remember Taylor, and then Logan sounds familiar.
Okay, good. So, and then I have 2 others. One is in grad school at UNO, wanting to be a history professor. And then my youngest daughter is a senior at Lincoln. So everyone's out of the house. And so I enjoy lots of different things. Love getting together with them. For work, I'm the director of research and acquisitions for a company that buys distressed real estate. So has nothing to do with my exercise science degree that I got, but that's what I do.
Awesome. Thanks, Janelle.
Love your hat, Tom.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very festive. All right, Amanda, what are you up to these days?
Yeah, so like we mentioned, I graduated in 2015, went right back to Illinois, did 3 years of law school at University of Illinois down in Champaign, and I'm now in Chicago. I work as an associate attorney at a law firm in the city, and we focus primarily on general business litigation, and I'm also doing biometric privacy law, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for me.
Have you run into Jenny yet? You were on the team with Jenny, right?
Yeah, so Jenny moved to Chicago, I think, this past summer. We've gotten together a little bit. Me, her, and Simone are all attorneys practicing in the city, so it's fun to meet up with them and share stories and all of that. So
That's to not commit any crimes in Chicago then, right?
exactly, that's always the goal.
Okay, let's see. What do we move on to next? I think we're gonna go with let's hear from Siri first of all. What's going on in Texas? Did you go to Colorado first?
I did. Yeah, so after I finished finals, I took a trip to Colorado with my roommate and a couple other friends. She has a mountain house, so we stayed there for a few days, and it was just a really good time to like relax and get away from school for a bit.
Good. And Kate?
Last weekend, I went to Minnesota to visit some friends up there, and then I've just been working at a surgical center as a CNA, and then I've been teaching some tennis as well.
Awesome. All right. Good. Okay. Well, let's start with. I think we started with the former players yesterday, so we'll do the same. Amanda, do you got any questions for any of us? I guess.
Yeah, I guess this question could probably apply to everyone. I'm curious on your favorite drill at practice.
Nice. Siri, you have a favorite drill?
I guess I like the game that we play sometimes on Fridays, the angry feeder, the angry feeder drill. I like that one.
I don't think we had that one when
I don't
was
know that. I don't think we had that much fun when you were on the team, Amanda.
Yeah.
Well, we did that towards the end of this semester a little bit more than we've done it before. We just feed the ball all over the place. It's 2-on-2 and anything goes. You play a whole game. The game's over in like I don't know, 30 seconds usually, but it's really quick doubles, fun drill.
Nice.
How about you, Kate?
It's not so much a drill, but I really like, or at least I find the most helpful, like playing sets. I just like staying competitive, and I like the challenge.
Good. Janelle, do you have a favorite one that you remember?
Wow, this was a long time ago, Tom. I have probably a different perspective than the three other gals because I had a different coach.
That's true.
So one of my favorite things to do has always been just like a running forehand. So we used to have like wide forehands and we'd have to sprint after it and kind of curve it back into the court. That's always one of my favorite things to do. So it's probably one of my favorite drills.
Good. Assistant to the head coach, Jean Lilly.
I think my favorite drill, like when I was playing for sure, was always over under. I just love playing that.
Oh yeah.
I just love over under.
Over under was Ed Hub's, Coach Hub special too. So
Yep.
I was gonna say that one, but I think the doubles doubles approach shot drill is probably the one I do maybe the most at Oak Hills Country Club with our competitive adults as well, but we work that into our Creighton practices too once in a while. So that's a good one. All right, Janelle. Good question, by the way, Amanda. We haven't had
Yeah,
them.
great question. Amanda, you should answer it too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. I really like the drill. So there'd be 4 of us on the court. 2 balls would be going at the same time, 1 cross court and 1 down the line. And then I think that's what it was. And then I don't know, maybe that wasn't.
Was it turned into a doubles point?
And then it would turn into a doubles point at some point in the drill, but it would start with the 2 balls going at the same time. You would do the rally for it wasn't exactly dingles though, because you would something similar to dingles. I always thought that was fun, something coming at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that would be my favorite. My least favorite, you might be a little disappointed to hear, it was probably the Bluejay drill, because I've never really mastered it despite many attempts.
You mastered it during matches though.
Yeah.
You were able to grind out some nice long points. That was when it counted.
Right.
That's why you do the drills, right?
Exactly.
All right, Janelle, what's your question?
My question is, this might be more towards you, Tom, and Jean, and Amanda, but because you both have all been in both the Missouri Valley and the Big East. So how did you handle like moving conferences? And then for the current players in that same light, how do you feel about playing against, maybe a tougher competition because of the conference that you're now playing in?
Wow, good question. I've had that one asked a few times. Both conferences had their strengths and I guess pros and cons to both, but just being in the Big East has helped out the university, I think, and that whole athletic department as a whole, maybe more financially or more getting on the entire nation's map, so to speak. I think I heard it best when we were first joining the Big East and I hope there aren't people listening from Carbondale, Illinois, but would you rather put your program's brochure in Carbondale, Illinois, or Philadelphia, or New York City, or New Jersey, Cincinnati, all these bigger cities that we've now become a part of? But as far as the competition, that's tough because the Missouri Valley had some years where it was pretty deep as well. I definitely think we're playing. The Big East has been tougher competition throughout the whole league, so it's been good. And right now, I think there's only 2 teams left from the Missouri Valley Conference that still have men's tennis. So it's really been depleted from the former Missouri Valley, that is. So there is no Missouri Valley Conference for men's tennis anymore.
Okay.
There is for women's tennis. I don't even know if there's 7 or 8 teams in it, but all the Big East teams have women's tennis and 8 have men's tennis right now. So some of it is obviously the logistics of it. In Missouri Valley Conference, we were able to play a whole schedule where we played every team throughout the season, and the Big East doesn't have that for tennis. So we try to play as many teams as we can, but some of them are, in Florida, and we can just meet up at the same time on spring break.
Mm-hmm.
So we go into the Big East Conference tournament sometimes with only maybe 4 or 5 matches against Big East teams, and they still have to try to figure out a way to seed each team. So it makes it a little bit tougher. We try to play as many teams as we can, but the tournament and the competitiveness has been tremendous. We're pretty happy with it, I think. You have anything you want to add?
My only thought is that I liked that we did play the full schedule in the Valley, because once you get to know a team and know their players, you kind of know what to expect like in the next match. So, we had a history with Missouri State or with Drake, and you kind of always knew what their players were going to be like and where we needed to kind of focus. And with the Big East, when we only play 4 or 5 of them a year, it's kind of tough to to remember all of the players and to know what we need to do or what we need to focus on going into a match.
What about you guys? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, man. Did you play? You were there for both then, right?
Yeah, so my freshman, sophomore year, we were in the Valley, and then right before my junior season was when we moved to the Big East. So I got half in both, which was exciting. Yeah, I just remember that season going into my junior year when we made the switch. It was really exciting for the school, for the team. And then that year we played at the conference tournament in New York at Flushing Meadows, which was, I think, just a surreal experience to be a part of. So I definitely enjoyed both. I think the Missouri Valley had great tennis, but the Big East definitely offered so many opportunities that were exciting to be a part of.
True. What about Kate? You've been in the Big East now, and Siri hasn't been a part of it yet, but she'll get to see it soon enough.
Yeah, well, after playing the Big East tournament last year, you can just tell the stakes are a lot higher, especially since it's hard for Creighton to play a lot of the teams in our conference since we're so far. So really the only thing you can control is like going out there and like playing your absolute best. So the whole season you're kind of focusing on the Big East tournament, and that's kind of your one chance to do as well as you can against these teams. So I just say, it just feels like the stakes are really high when we play any Big East team.
Yeah.
Very
It's
cool.
It's cool. The tournament's in Columbia, or a little suburb called Casey, South Carolina. So it's like a neutral site, and all the teams go there, and it's pretty hot. But the Big East puts on a first-class tournament, and the finals are live streamed. Are they live streamed? Are they on the Big East? I think it's live streamed on the Big East network. So eventually they're going to get every match live streamed, but that hasn't happened quite yet. Yeah. All right. How about Siri? Do you have a question for anybody here?
Yeah, so I guess this can go to like the former players or even like Kate even. Like any piece of advice that you would give from like your experience at Creighton?
How about we start with Janelle on that one?
Sure. Wow, that's a tough question because there's a lot to balance as a Division I athlete. Even though tennis is not considered a major sport at Creighton, there's still a lot of time and effort that has to be put into training and going to class and still, traveling a lot, and especially with traveling further distances now. I guess my advice would be to just make sure that you stay well organized and prepared for, everything that's coming towards you, whether it be, schoolwork or a tournament, things like that, so that you stay ahead of everything that's coming to you.
Perfect. Amanda, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so definitely agree with everything Janelle said. The one thing I would add, especially starting as a freshman, you'll find that the spring season just goes by so fast. So my advice would just be to really enjoy every second of it, have fun. Before you know it, you'll be a senior. So, just really enjoy every second. Don't take anything for granted. Obviously, work as hard as you can, do your best, but make sure you have fun and enjoy it along the way.
Kate?
I would say Creighton is really unique in that you get a very well-rounded experience, especially as a student athlete, and you have so many opportunities like studying abroad in the summer, even though you can't study abroad during the fall and spring semesters because of your commitment to tennis. But they're very flexible with schedules like that and providing you opportunities even outside of like traveling and stuff like that. So I don't know, it's take advantage of all the experiences you can get outside of athletics and academics.
Great. I get a kick out of the former players that I've coached lately, for especially yesterday and now Amanda today, hearing them tell people, to enjoy every minute of, because before you know it, you'll be a senior, or before you know it, you'll be an attorney, or before you know it, Janelle, you and I and Jean will be closing in on 50.
50.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Yes.
Kate, do you have a question?
Yes. I was wondering if any of you have superstitions or had any superstitions before playing matches.
Amanda, you want to start this one?
Sure. I wouldn't say I had any superstitions, but I do remember, I think my senior year, I wore the same, not the same, it would be I would wear pre-wrap as a headband. It would be this blue pre-wrap. I would tie it around my hair. And I just did it for so many matches in a row. I think I just had to do it. So that would be kind of a superstition. It was more just a fun thing. I think a couple of my teammates would do it with me as well. But other than that, I don't think I'm superstitious. I would kind of just take the same approach for every match. But yeah, the headband was the one thing that stands out a little bit on that end.
How about Janelle?
I wouldn't really call it a superstition, more like a something that I just did every single time I served. I always I bounced the ball 3 times, and I always looked up out of my right eye before I threw the ball up, just to give myself a moment of pause. And it's funny because my daughter played club volleyball for many years, and her coach told her to do that before she served. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did that when I played tennis. And I found myself even as an adult doing that. So it was just like a moment to just like breathe out and then go for it.
Sure. Good routine. That's never a bad thing, I don't think.
Yeah.
Siri?
Well, I guess like sometimes during matches, like on changeovers, I think I'll take like a certain amount of sips of water each time, and then go to the Gatorade and take a certain amount of sips of that. And it kind of just depends on how the match is going. And if it's not working, I'll do like a different number of sips. Or if it is working, then I'll just keep it the same. But it's a little
Kind of
odd.
rough and adult-ish.
A little bit.
He's definitely got his routines.
Yes, he does.
What about you, Kate?
I don't know if they're superstitions, because if they're not working, then I'll like change them and ditch them forever. But if I like eat something before a match and then I play really well, I'll try it again and keep doing that until it doesn't work anymore. And then in juniors especially, I had like favorite outfits that I like always played well in, and outfits that I never played well in. And then it's the white skirt we have that I'm not a fan of, because it is really cute, but I never play clean. I never play clean match. So that's just something I'm gonna have to get over, because everyone else likes it, and then I'm the only one with the problem.
Yeah, that would be a tough one. What would you do as a coach if, let's say, Siri had a superstition against the blue skirt and somebody else against the black skirt? Then we'd have no skirts.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Did you have any superstitions?
I don't think I had any superstitions, but more like kind of Janelle said, like I always bounced the ball the same number of times and kind of had like the same mantra go through my head at the start of a point, especially when I was serving. And I don't think that ever changed from juniors all the way through college. Probably.
How many times did you bounce the ball?
It was like I would bounce it like 4 times and then like quick and then like 2 to kind of just like settle my brain down and then like whatever. Yeah. So 6. Let's go with 6 total, but in a weird.
Okay.
What about you?
I always did 2 bounces for first serves, 1 bounce for second serve. Don't know why, but it was just a routine I got into.
Because you always had a quick
Not
serve.
sure was it superstition or not. Superstition would be more if you had won a good match against somebody, or then you would kind of, hey, I want to wear that again, or you know, I don't know, try to keep the same grip on your racket even though you know it needs to be changed, stuff like that.
We didn't have the like all the different uniform options.
Yeah, that's true.
We had our
Janelle,
shirts.
you would like their uniforms.
Yeah, I've seen them and I'm very jealous.
Same.
We're going to be
I
decorating
think we had
Hanscom
do we have
bit
a
more.
polo shirt? I think we had a polo shirt and a white skirt that was pleated completely around, and it was that polyester material, and it didn't have any like spandex underneath, so you had to like wear your own like ball pocket pants, or I don't even know what the bloomers or whatever they were called. Oh boy, good old days. I hated that skirt too, Kate.
My freshman year, we had a straight white skirt with pockets. It was awful.
All right.
I would like to bring back the sweatshirts that we had, though. Those were the best sweatshirts back in the day.
Well, they could be any different colors that we wanted and any different
Yep.
logo.
Yep.
Yeah, we've kind of got some set guidelines now, which are good. But yeah, you're right. We did have a lot of goofy stuff. Well, I'm seeing that our Zoom meeting is going to end in 30 seconds, which is fine because we all got to ask our questions. We can stay on for a minute after I push stop here. But thanks for joining us this week or tonight, and I appreciate it. Good to see you all again.
You too, and best of luck in your season, Kate and Sari and Jean and Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you.